Today I'm going to be talking about the RFinder B1. I've had the radio now for over 6 months, so I just wanted to talk about the radio and give my feedback on it. For those of you who have followed this channel for a while, you will have noticed that I do like my technology. I'm quite curious about different types of technology. For me, there's something that I enjoy about getting to understand the designers of different types of technologies, whether that's antenna designers like Calom DX Commander, M1, ECC antennas, but also with the technologies like the B1, you got Bob Greensberg, who's the designer behind this, and I'm a real big fan of Bob and his work. I bought it out of curiosity over 6 months ago. I'm going to cut to the chase and talk about the good things about this radio. So for me, I was really interested in the fact that it was a ruggedized radio. It has got some protection from water and dirt ingress. It's actually a smartphone. I'm going to say smartphone in inverted commas. It's actually a phone and a DMR radio built into one, and that's another interest that I had in this, was actually, could this be a replacement for my normal smartphone? The main focus of this is DMR, and it does that superbly. I really like it's got an app that actually allows you to very quickly find the nearby repeaters. It's kept up to date, so you don't have to keep taking the card out, downloading the latest version of the repeaters and loading that back in. It's actually pulled from the cloud, and if you notice any repeaters that are slightly out with the settings, you can put a request in to get those changed. So it does have a process for keeping the database up to date, which is really good, really handy. It allows you to connect very easily to hotspots. So I've got the hotspot, the Shark RF hotspot 3. It allows you to program that in, so you can very easily connect to your hotspot while you're walking around the house in your garden, and you can carry on chatting to your buddies on the different talk groups. From that point of view, as a DMR radio, it works really well. I find the majority of DMR radios quite difficult to program. Yes, you can get code plugs. You can get config files that you can upload, but to configure a DMR radio is quite a leap of faith, quite a steep learning curve for some people, whereas with the RFinder app it makes it much easier to set up. I find that the support from Bob and the RFinder community is really helpful. There's a Facebook group for the RFinder. They're a decent bunch. They tend to keep themselves quite organised and supportive, so you do get the support of a decent community when you buy into this product. I just want to talk about the things that I struggle with, or I won't say the bad things. I will say the bad things. These are the things that I've picked out that need emphasising. One is, the obvious one is the price. I'm not going to have a conversation about the price. You know what the price is of these. You can Google them. They aren't the cheapest thing to buy and throw away. They're not that kind. They are an investment. You buy into the RFinder and the B1 program as much as you buy just the product, and the RFinder, the B1, is constantly being developed, so it's still in a public experimental phase. For me, this is the biggest discovery that I found, and it's really obvious. So this is really obvious stuff here. But the B1, because it relies on data a lot, and it rely on data even more so in the future when we have radio over internet protocol, and Bob's working on that now. It's May 2021, and the ROIP protocol is in beta phase, so it's becoming available now to B1 users or RFinder users, and this is the ability to actually connect directly to internet and join DMR talk groups and such like directly through the internet, rather than relying on hotspots or nearby repeaters. But what I found that because the phone, it's a phone as well as a radio, it is based around the concept of apps and data, which is great when you're connected to a internet or Wi-Fi, or if you've got a SIM card in. So I tend to run this without a SIM card in, and that's where the problem is for me. One of the things that I found that happened a few times is I've gone out, pulled the radio out of the charger and gone out, and I've not made sure that the operating system is up to date, that the app is up to date. I go out and I can't make a call, I can't connect to the radio. It hasn't happened that much, so it happened a few times, but when it does, it means that I've actually got a brick. I can't switch from my slimline average smartphone for this phone. I can't run this as my everyday carry phone. Even though it's a smartphone, it's just not as smart as the latest Android, with all the latest Android features. It does feel like slightly dated smartphone experience, so it's not going to be a replacement for me anyway. It's not going to be a replacement for my everyday work and home type phone. Another feature which I find slightly frustrating, it's been mentioned on other YouTube videos, is that this charges from the dock. So you put in the dock, charges up, fantastic, pull out the dock, take it outdoors, but if you're outdoors for any length of time, you can't charge this from the USB port. It doesn't charge, and I don't think it's in the pipeline. I don't think it's actually plumbed up in a way where you can actually run a charge into the battery from the USB. Now overall, I'm a big fan of this device, this product. I find that for me it's a fantastic ham radio device product, but it's the wrong ham radio product for me because of the way that I work. I'm not the kind of person that sits around and chats on talk groups. I'm not the kind of person that uses like radio over internet protocol. That's not the way I enjoy the hobby. Radio over internet protocol is a fantastic addition to the hobby. It really brings the hobby into 21st century. It's just I'm not into that. So curiosity means that I bought the device. I'm a big fan and believer of it, but it's not the right ham radio for me. It's a positive experience I have with the product. It's something that I'm not going to let go of. I've invested a lot of money into it. I'm really interested in the development phases it's going through. In the future, I suspect that we'll start to see the RFinder, the B1, integrating with systems such as APRS, whereas at the moment the APRS Droid is purely internet based. Talking to Bob, there are plans in the future for integrating the radio side of things with the APRS Droid, and that would be an absolutely wonderful feature. That would really bring the radio to life. Yep, there we go. That's a reflection on the RFinder B1. I do like it.